Hi, my name's Glenn and I'm here to talk to you on behalf of Movember and the Harlequins Foundation. So in the years leading up to the start of my mental health journey, I was probably the typical bloke. I had feelings that I wouldn't acknowledge and that I would bottle up. For me personally, I had the feeling that I wasn't enough, I wasn't good enough for my wife, for our daughter, for my parents, for my friends, that they could all be better off without me, that the world would be a better place without me in it. And more than once I contemplated suicide. I now know that that's not the case, but being the typical bloke and a rugby bloke as well, you want to put up that front that you are the tough guy, that this isn't how men are supposed to feel or supposed to act. And so I just put on a mask and was always happy, smiling, laughing Glenn. Whereas inside, I was tearing myself apart. Probably about 15 years ago, I had a breakdown. It was a normal day. I got up for work, came downstairs, went to go out the front door, and I physically couldn't. My brain just would not send the signal to my hand to open the front door. I walked away from the door, walked back, the same thing. Back and forth, getting more and more stressed. My brain just knew that something wasn't right, and it knew that letting me out of that house was not the right thing to do. So I'm really stressed out. I don't know what's going on. I go upstairs and find my wife, and I just burst into tears, and I cry for at least half an hour. Obviously she's petrified, she doesn't know what's going on. So she convinces me that we have to speak to the GP. So we go and speak to the GP, we have a full, frank discussion, and I'm diagnosed with depression and anxiety. Medication follows, but then it's also followed with the importance of talking to friends and family. Now, these conversations at the beginning, really difficult for me, but really, really helpful. And on top of friends and family, I was recommended to seek help from a mental health specialist. And in my case, it was recommended that I take CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy. I can't describe how helpful that was to admit to not just my friends and family, but to myself that I needed help, and that medication on its own wasn't going to be enough. I needed an expert to help me figure out what was going on and how I was going to move forward. So with the help of my friends, family, professional help, I'm here today, and without that, I can't honestly say that I would be. To those of you that are out there and living with mental health problems, I'd encourage you to speak to family and friends. They have been the most amazing support to me throughout my whole experience. To those of you that might be worried about anyone in your family, the great thing to remember that Movember have come up with is be a smart aleck. So ask if your friend or your family member is okay. Listen to what they have to say. Encourage them to seek help, and then check up on them. It's brilliant to make that first step, but it's even more important to carry on checking up on them, making sure they're following through and helping them out along their road. So if you're looking to check in on someone, but you're not entirely sure how to start the conversation, Movember have a really great tool. It's called Movember Conversations. It will guide you through the process of having a difficult conversation with someone that's struggling. So this year, to get involved, you can do a multiple number of things. You can grow a beautiful moustache, just like myself. You can move for Movember. The distance that we recommend is cover 60 kilometres over the whole month of November, and that represents the 60 guys worldwide who lose their lives to suicide every hour of every day. You can host a moment, so that could be anything from inviting friends and family round for Sunday lunch and they make a donation, to hosting an online quiz. And if you go on the Movember website, there are some pub quizzes, and there's even a virtual escape room this year that you can do with your friends and family virtually. And the other thing is to mow your own way. So find something unique to you and get people to sponsor you for it. So once you know what you're going to do, download the Movember app, join the Harlequins Foundation team, and together we can become the top fundraising team in the league. Every mow you grow will save a bro.